Hello, friends, and welcome back to TJKidz Super Fun Stories, where imagination becomes reality. Today is part 2 of the magic chalk. So if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, part 1, make sure to start there and then come back. We left off with Drago, the head dragon, landing in the enchanted forest. We'll start with the last line from part 1. So grab a comfy spot, get cozy, and join me for the conclusion of this adventure. The Magic Chalk, Part 2. Drago leaned in close, smoke curling from his nostrils. He looked straight at Maddie with his piercing, evil red eyes. "I believe you have something of mine." Maddie stumbled back, clutching the glowing chalk to her chest. "No way," she said. Drago's red eyes narrowed. Oh, it's very much a yes, little one." Before anyone could move, Drago snapped his claws, and a glowing green force field shot out of his palm, swirling around the chatter like a magical tornado. It hardened into a shimmering cage that hovered above the ground. "Hey," the chatter yelped as the cage snapped shut. "I didn't sign up for this. I prefer my cages with pillows and snacks," he said. Drago smirked. "You want to play games, do you? Fine. I'll just put your pet kitty cat in this cage where he belongs." "He's not a pet," Jack shouted. "Oh, I know," Drago said. "He's much more valuable than that." He turned to Maddie. "Give me the chalk, you child. You have no idea how to use that kind of power." "Don't do it, Maddie," the chatter called from inside the glowing cell. "I'll be fine. He'll probably only keep me in here for 100 years tops. Then he'll get annoyed with me and let me go. Or maybe eat me. Either way, I'll be fine." That's not comforting," Jack muttered. "Oh, I'll do much worse than that," Drago growled, smoke curling from his nostrils. "Stop," Maddie shouted. "Don't hurt him. I'll give you the chalk, but you have to let him go." "No, Maddie," the chatter cried. "Don't do it. I'm not worth it. Get to Copia. Tell the unicorns what happened. They'll know what to do." "Deal," Drago said, cutting him off. Maddie swallowed hard. "Okay." She stepped forward, slowly pretending to hand over the full piece of chalk. But as she moved, she snapped off a tiny chunk with her thumb and slipped it into her pocket. Drago snatched the chalk from her hand. "Where is the rest of it?" That's all of it," Maddie said. "We've been playing with it all day." Drago sniffed the chalk, then glared at her. "I don't trust you. But no matter, I have what I need." He grabbed the glowing cage with one claw and lifted it into the air. "We'll be going now," he said. "Back to the playpen, children." "Chatter!" Jack yelled. "Just shapeshift out of the cage." "I'm sorry, Jack, I can't," the chatter shouted back. "This cage is made from dragon steel. No powers can be used in here. Not even mine." "What?" Maddie gasped. "You kids don't worry about me," the chatter said, trying to sound brave. "Go back home and get safe. You probably shouldn't come back." Goodbye, Jack and Maddie. I think this may be goodbye. No, Maddie cried. But it was too late. Drago spread his enormous wings and blasted into the sky, carrying the chatter away. Jack and Maddie stood frozen for a moment, staring at the empty sky. We lost him, Jack whispered. No, Maddie said, wiping her eyes. We're not losing anybody. Jack looked at her. What do you mean? Maddie reached into her pocket and pulled out the tiny glowing piece of chalk. Jack's eyes widened. You genius! I wasn't giving him everything, Maddie said. Not a chance. Jack grinned. Then what are we waiting for? Maddie knelt down and drew 2 Pegasus, slightly smaller than the one Jack drew earlier, but still strong and glowing with magic. They shimmered into life, wings fluttering. Let's go, Maddie said. They climbed on and took off into the sky, following Drago's smoky trail from a safe distance. The forest below turned into rolling hills, then rocky cliffs, then jagged mountains that scraped the clouds. This place is creepy, Jack whispered as they approached a dark cave into the side of a mountain. The entrance glowed faintly with green fire. Drago's lair, Maddie said. We have to land before he sees us. They slid off the Pegasus and gently erased them with a swipe of the chalk so they wouldn't be spotted. The cave was enormous, tall enough for 10 dragons to stand on each other's shoulders. The walls were covered in claw marks and glowing green crystals that pulsed like a heartbeat. Okay, Jack whispered. We find the chatter, we get him out, and we run. Right, Maddie said. Quietly. They tiptoed deeper into the cave, ducking behind rocks, listening for Drago's footsteps. Every sound echoed, dripping water, distant rumbling, the flap of giant wings somewhere far inside. Chatter? Maddie whispered. Chatter, where are you? A faint voice answered. Over here. I'm in the I told you this was a bad idea section. They followed the voice until they found him, still trapped in the glowing dragon steel cage, hanging from a chain above a pit of bubbling green goo. Oh, thank goodness, the chatter said. I was starting to think the 2 of you forgot about me. Or worse, that you went home to eat snacks without me. Chatter, Jack said. Are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm perfectly fine, the chatter said. Except for the part where this cage is slowly draining all my magic, and by the end of the day, I'll be a goner, and Drago will have all of my power. But other than that, peachy. Not on our watch, Jack said. You kids need to leave, the chatter insisted. There's nothing you can do. This cage is unbreakable, unshakable, something else that means you can't get me out. You sure about that? Maddie asked. She held up the tiny piece of glowing chalk. The chatter gasped. You little genius. Hold still, Maddie said. She drew a small door on the side of the cage. The chalk glowed, shimmered, and then the metal melted away, forming a perfect doorway. The chatter stepped out, wobbling a little. He jumped out of the cage, over the goo, and into Jack and Maddie's arms. Oh, that feels better. My magic was being slurped out like a smoothie.
Come on, Jack said. We have to get out of here before Drago comes back.
Right, the chatter said. Let's go before he... A deep rumble echoed through the cave. Comes back, the chatter finished. Too late, he's back. Hide, Maddie whispered. They ducked behind a giant boulder as Drago stomped into the chamber, sniffing the air. I smell children, he growled. And feline, the chatter whispered. Rude? Drago roared, shaking the cage. Where is my prisoner? Jack looked at Maddie. Maddie looked at Jack. The chatter looked like he was about to faint. Okay, Maddie whispered. We need to fly out. Now. The chatter nodded. Hold on to me. He closed his eyes, concentrated, and shapeshifted into a giant eagle. Still a little wobbly from the cage, but strong enough. Jack and Maddie climbed onto his back. Ready? He asked.
No, Jack said, but let's go anyway.
The chatter spread his wings and launched into the air just as Drago spotted them. No! Drago roared. Get back here! He blasted fire toward them, but the chatter dodged, weaving through the cave tunnels. As they flew out of the cave entrance, Maddie drew a giant boulder with her chalk piece, and they tossed it into the cave opening, wedging Drago inside. Then they burst into the open sky. They soared over the mountains, over the cliffs, and back toward the glowing trees of the enchanted forest. When they finally landed, all three collapsed onto the soft grass.
We did it, Jack said, panting. We saved you, Maddie added.
The chatter shifted back into his normal form and hugged them both tightly. You two are the bravest kids I've ever met, and the smartest, and the snackiest. Do you have snacks? Maddie laughed.
Chatter.
He smiled, but then his face grew serious. This isn't over, you know, he said quietly. Drago will be back, and next time, he won't stop at me. Jack nodded.
Then we'll be ready.
Maddie held up the tiny piece of chalk.
And we still have this.
The chatter grinned. Oh, I like the way you think. They hugged him one more time, then stepped back through the glowing path toward Aunt Jody's house, knowing that this adventure was only the beginning. The end. And that is the end of our story, friends. Woo! That was a close one. I was really worried for a moment that Drago was going to drain all of the chatter's powers. But thanks to Maddie's quick thinking, they were able to come up with a rescue plan. Boy, that Drago sure is grumpy. And it sounds like he isn't planning to give up. But I'm sure Maddie, Jack, and the chatter will be prepared. At least I sure hope so. And that leads me to a moral that I learned from this story. Sometimes the best way to face a big challenge is with courage, cleverness, and teamwork. Maddie didn't give up. Jack stayed brave. And together, they found a way to save their friend. Even when things seem impossible, a little creativity and sticking together can make all the difference. What did you learn? Well, that's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Toodles!